Today is Holocaust Remembrance Day. 10 million lives lost, but only News 3 brings you the story of two who survived. This year marks the 70th anniversary of the liberation of Nazi concentration camps at the end of World War II.
Those taken to concentration camps faced either forced labor or death. News 3 reporter Dave DeLozier has a story of a life that started amidst so much death.
Nobody really thought anyone was going to live through this. So it was just, let's live as long as we possibly can.
Life here was measured in seconds and minutes.
Death was everywhere. It was part of what was expected. It was part of what happened all the time.
And Mark Olski's parents would come to no death. His father was shot by a Nazi soldier near their home in Poland. His mother, Rachel, would be sent to a place synonymous with death, Auschwitz. There, Dr. Josef Mengele would ask her a question that would decide her fate.
He came up to my mother and asked her if she's pregnant, because pregnant women were just sent off to the gas chamber immediately. But she knew by then why they were asking the question. She said no.
The secret she kept, even as she was sent to forced labor, she was carrying a child. If the Nazis found out, they would both die.
Anytime my mother talked about it, she would just have to stop after about 10 seconds, and that was the end of the conversation.
Eventually, the Nazis loaded Rachel and other women onto a train and sent them to Mauthausen death camp. But on the way to meet death, there came life.
I was born on the way to the death camp at Mauthausen.
In that train, there were no calendars. A birth certificate shows a date chosen by another.
Actually, the date of April 20th was assigned by the German guards, and as a favor to my mother. April 20th was Hitler's birthday.
As they neared the death camp, World War II was nearing an end as well.
When they arrived at Mauthausen on April 29th, April 28th was when the gas chambers stopped working.
In a matter of days, U.S. soldiers, many of whom were from Wisconsin, liberated the death camp. And now, 70 years later, when he looks back and thinks of what might have been, Mark thinks of the faces.
That I've thought many times about what might have been with the ones I never got to meet.
Wow, well, Mark is a retired doctor from Madison. He'll be returning next month for the 70th anniversary of the liberation of that death camp.
An amazing story. And his story and that of two other children born in that death camp are the subject of a new book, Born Survivors. It'll be released on May 5th, the day the death camp was liberated.
Whole story there.